Gentle Yoga and Relaxation class. This is a class for my students to encourage them to practice at home. The more you practice yoga, the more benefit that you get from it. Before watching or continuing any further, please click on the Introduction to Yoga, which goes into a little bit more detail about bandhas, safety in yoga. Hope you enjoy the class. I'm going to start in the mountain. Either with feet together or slightly separate. It depends how it feels in your lower back. I'm drawing up on my kneecaps, drawing in my belly slightly, opening my chest, using bandhas or locks. Just doing a few circles with my shoulders, just to relax them down my back. Took my chin down slightly. And arms pointing down, finding a spot to gaze or closing your eyes and taking 3 deep breaths in and out through your nose. We're trying to keep your breaths even all the way through the practice, keeping a balance, breathing into your belly, into your chest. Breathing out, relaxing. And then again, push with your feet, drop on your kneecaps. Pelvic floor lifting just slightly, drawing your belly. Feel yourself growing taller as you breathe in. And relaxing maybe through your face and your shoulders as you breathe out. And again, big breath in. And out. Nice way to keep your breathing even is to do some movement. So there will be quite a lot of, call it flow in the class. Just being very gentle with them. It's easier to sort of take your arms too far if you do it quickly and with the movement. So you're moving slowly. Separate your feet maybe a little bit more if that feels better for your back. Bend your knees slightly. Breathing in. Just to that point where you feel comfortable that your shoulders aren't coming up. Push your hands together and out, just bending your knees slightly. And then in and out. One more. So you might be a bit stronger and you might be able to bring your shoulders right up, maybe looking up if it's safe for your neck. Push your hands together, bend your knees, and out. So our next one, we're going to hold. Hold your arms up. So again, elbows. You might not be able to straighten them very much. You're just trying to look at your hands, palms together. So it might be here. And as you're breathing in, you're reaching and breathing out. So I'm drawing upon my kneecaps still, drawing in my belly. In and out. So some of you might be able to reach a little higher. Put your fingertips, tuck your chin down a little using that bandha and breathing in and out. I'll just do that one more time. coming back down again. Push in your palms together. Any problems with your shoulders, your neck? This is the most gentlest of the postures, and simply we'll all practice this anyway. Just become aware of your hands touching each other. It's a nice one to close your eyes if you haven't already. Push your thumbs together, index finger, middle ring, little finger and palm. And you'll experience and feel the muscles in your arms working. Actually bringing in much more muscles than just reaching to the sky, and doing it safely. Go to your breathing. Even breaths in and out through your nose. And we're going to just drop down this time. Uttanasana. Breathing in. So again, I'm just taking my arms up because I can. Just take them to that gentle stretch. Don't think that pushing further or beyond being comfortable is going to make you more flexible or stronger. It's actually going to injure you. So just, beginners, you might be just resting your hands on your thighs, taking my shoulders down my back, drawing in my belly, sucking it in, drawing upon the pelvic floor, pushing down with my feet. If you're a bit more flexible, you might be able to drop, so I'll just turn to the side so you can see what I'm doing. So your knees bent still to protect your spine, and I'm drawing in my belly, trying to straighten my back a little. You might want to go a little deeper, so straight legs, maybe, drawing in your belly. And bending your knees. I can't reach my arms up, but so if you've got an injury in one arm, you can just use one. Leave the other one down by your side. And out. The wall's in the way. And just turning back. I'm just going to move from side to side. And we're going to do a very simple balance. We're going to practice the beginnings of the tree posture. I'm going to rest my heel on my ankle joint. Trying to turn my hip out as much as I can. Again, I'm pushing down with my feet. Pushing my hands together again. Feel this is gently strengthening my shoulders. Chin down slightly. Breathing in and out. Some of you, if you're feeling a little unstable, I'm pretending there's a wall here, but it's nice to use supports. Supports help you become stronger, and eventually if you do use supports, you'll find over time that you'll be able to practice without them. If you don't use them, you might find that, over time you give up. So it's really nice to use them. If you do want to take it a little bit stronger, I'm not taking my foot right the way up in this class, so I'm just resting the sole of my foot and flicking out to the side. Pushing my hands together. Drawing in my belly, breathing through my nose. Coming out of it. So if you wobble, don't worry about it. As you're doing that, if you just try to bring yourself back, it doesn't matter if you don't and you sort of wobble out of it. You're using lots of muscles to try to bring yourself back in. So see it as balancing, wobbling is just a learning experience. And don't worry about, failing ever. Because if you wobble, you give up, you're never going to learn. If you do it again, you're not going to injure yourself, so it doesn't matter. Then each time you're going to be strengthening a little bit more. Just swapping sides. Again, I'm just coming to the gentle, so I'm resting my heel on my ankle joint. Always I start with your feet, your foundations. I'm working my way up my body, drawing in this kneecap, thinking about my hip and trying to open it out as much as I can. Drawing in my belly, opening my chest, chin down. Push your hands together. Breathe into your belly, into your chest, and out. If you want to bring your foot up on this other side, you can. Coming out of it. In, if you can reach that far, and out. Otherwise, just bringing your hands down, however way is comfortable, and just walking it out. The balancing postures are really amazing for strengthening legs, but also your mind as well. So our next posture is going to be Warrior 2. I'm just going to step to the side. So at any point, say I stop here and you're finding this a little difficult, well, this is the place for you to stay and practice. This is the beginning of Warrior 2. Palms together, which is more gentle. And just turning, check your feet, so the side of your foot parallel to your mat. And your legs are about a leg length apart. As you become more flexible, you might be able to take them wider, but just make sure there's just a gentle stretch. Palms together. So I always find that starting like this will just really help with your alignment, which is really important in these standing postures, your foundations, your feet. So I'm turning one foot to the side, I'm going to my left, and I'm lining up again with the long edge of my mat, but my heel is lined up with the instep of my other foot. So take your time, feel your feet. Chest faces the long length. It has a tendency to sort of twist, especially when you bring your arms up, but try and keep your chest facing forwards. So maybe you're stopping here and breathing into your belly, into your chest, and then breathing out through your nose. If you want to move deeper into the posture, then you're bending your knee, but you're making sure that you don't bend it too far. Your knee shouldn't go beyond your ankle. So you're working it back to about here. It doesn't matter even if it's slightly bent, and you can practice with straight legs as well. Ideally, not ideally, but eventually maybe the correct alignment or the perfect alignment, and who wants to be perfect anyway, is to actually line up your knee with your ankle joint. So I'm going to come back for a minute a bit and take a couple of breaths here. Well, actually just one, into my belly, into my chest. And then with a breath in, again only if it feels okay in your arms, and bringing up my hands, looking along my third finger, checking my backhand. You might find that you can go deeper into it. You might need to move back into the more gentle. One more breath. And then coming out, breathing in and out. Heel toe in just for a moment. Just coming out of it. So always practicing ahimsa, non-harm, stopping at any point. So I'll go through it again on the other side. The beginning of it might just be staying here with your legs as wide as they'll go comfortably. Feet parallel to the edges of the mat. You're pushing down with your feet. You're drawing in your belly. And then turning, lining up your heel with your instep. Going to a little bit quicker this time. Bend your knee, but just make sure that you don't take it too far. Chest facing forwards. You can stay here, or again, with a breath in, stretching through your hands, stretching through your fingertips. Just look at your hands. Just bend your knee a little, draw in your belly, draw upon your pelvic floor. Look along that third finger and breathe into your belly, into your chest. Maybe you can go a little deeper, or maybe you need to move away from it a little more. One more breath. So if your arms feel strong, you can bring them up like I did in the first one. If you want to protect your shoulders, as you're breathing out, you bring them down. And then heel, toe in, walking it out. Strengthening your legs, working on your core, strengthening your arms is what we've been doing, strengthening postures, yang postures. We've got one more to do, and it's a twist. So the twisting, I know there's a few students in class that find this highly beneficial for their back problems. So again, you might want your feet together or slightly separate. Drawing up on your kneecaps. Just starting with my palms together. So we're starting in a mountain. Experiment with your feet. You might want to make a bit more of a lock. See what feels nicer for you, because it's always how you feel in yoga. And it's got to feel okay, even nice, but never no pain. So keeping my ankles really strong so they're not flopping to the sides. And just drawing up my belly and twisting to the side. And being careful not to sort of bend round, or trying to twist nice and straight, so my spine's nice and straight. And just holding on. And just take one hand around wherever it'll go. Or you might prefer to keep palms together. So as you're breathing in, feel yourself growing taller, drawing upwards, and breathing out. Maybe energy or relaxation just flowing back down your body. Feel it particularly in your shoulders and your face. Maybe starting to look over your shoulder, but chin down a little to protect your shoulder. And slowly. So if you've got a busy mind, you need to slow things down. You need to slow down. You breathe in a little. You need to slow down your movements. You need to try and slow down your life, and yoga just helps to teach you that, to become more aware. I'm just looking over my shoulder. So again, your palms together might feel better for you, or your arms are here. Maybe you can just bring them through. Doesn't matter. Remember, it's not the position. Alignment has to be correct, just to protect you, so that nice straight spine if you can. It's how you feel in the posture. And this one should feel really nice. And then slowly back. I'm going to lie down next. I'm just going to the edge of the mat. Lying down any which way. We're going to practice the bridge, which is another lovely posture for beginners. You've been strengthening your legs, your arms, your core. We're going to work with your locks or bandhas in your core a little bit more. But to begin with, I'm just going to bring my arms down. I'm going to try and relax as much of my body as I can. I'm relaxing my feet, just softening them, feeling them on the mat. My bottom soft, my shoulders, my arms, my face. Nothing to do now. So this is what we're practicing is known as Hatha yoga. So the hat is the masculine, the doing, the working, and the tha is the feminine, the relaxing, the being. The masculine builds up strength in your body and your muscles, and the feminine and the relaxing allows for muscles to relax, and thus flexibility increases. So they're both as important as each other. And so we're going to spend quite a bit of this class doing some tha, because we don't get enough of that in our life. We don't get enough of the yin, and we need more of it. We tend to be more and more busy in our lives. So I'm just drawing my belly in towards my chest. There's a cockatoo. I'm just trying to ignore him. He's being cheeky. Uh-oh. It's all right, Jasper. Breathe in and out. You can practice with dogs in the room. Mine are usually very quiet. They quite like it. They like the feeling of the calmness. And they look yoga nidra. As I'm breathing out, I'm drawing my belly button in towards my spine. And as I'm breathing in, my belly's coming forwards. So I'm trying to do that as obvious as I can. Arch under my back at this minute. Just be gentle with this. If you've got back problems, you won't have as much flexibility. I've been practicing for about 15 years now, and it's amazing how much more flexible I am, what I can do. But I've been doing it very gently and very slowly, and you're much better just practicing a couple of these as well throughout the week. So breathing in. I'm also drawing upon my pelvic floor a little. Out. My knees are about a block length, not a hip. Usually if I say a hip, people take their legs too far. So it's sort of imagine sort of this much between your knees, and you check your feet, so feet parallel. It's not so much of an important thing as you're just using this movement, which you could just keep going if you've got back problems. It's so good for you, and even lying still is. The hard floor is just opening up your joints, which get narrowed with injury as you get older. Either of them. But we're going to come up in the bridge, not too far, just a little bit. So now alignment's important. I'm going to tuck down my chin, and as I'm breathing out, so I'm going to breathe in, relax your shoulders, palms facing down, into do that again, breathing in, and as I'm breathing out, I'm drawing my belly button in, and I'm drawing upon my pelvic floor, and I'm lifting my bottom, because as you're doing that, you're engaging your core or those important bandhas in your belly. You feel them getting stronger, and I'm just slowly lifting, not too much, my bottom off the floor. I know some people, when I watch, they try to push their way up as much as they can, and it's not going to achieve anything. It's going to injure you. It's going to make you stiffer. You have to just relax and enjoy it. So my bottom's not too far off. This might be too much for you anyway. If it is, just slowly, slowly coming back down. Always, the slower you come back down, the more benefit. But I'm going to try and work into my chest a bit more. So you might have noticed I'm just bringing my chest forward, pushing with my hands and pushing with my feet, engaging lots more of my muscles. And just breathing here. I won't stay long, just one breath. And then slowly, slowly coming down. And the slower you come down and trying to push each little vertebra or bone in my back into the floor. Just opening them all out. In yoga, the main energy center in your body is the sushumna, your spinal column, and you're encouraging the flow of energy. In yoga, that's all you're trying to do. There's no such thing as exercise. It's all to do with energy flowing or blocked. So illness or injury is a blockage in energy. From here, it might be nice to draw in your knees. And just gently, whatever feels nice in your lower back, give your back a little bit of a massage on the hard floor. Should feel really nice, maybe some circles. If you do find this, you haven't got the flexibility or it feels a bit sore in your back to practice like this, going on both sides, then windscreen wipers. So I'm putting my feet just on the edges of the mat and just turning from one side, nice and slow. So if you start doing this, you've lost your focus. It just comes with time. You're slowing down your movements in your mind. In your body, you're connected. So if you slow down your body, it helps to slow down those busy thoughts. It helps to calm your mind. So I was going to try and do an hour's class, but I didn't look at my watch. I'm not sure how long it's going to be. I'm just going to let it flow. I'm going to do a couple of yin postures. So the yin is the letting go. And quite often in yoga we do sitting postures. But for this class, it's lying down. So the lying down postures, they can be adapted to the chair, and I will do one of those another day. But I know that my students know how to adapt it anywhere. So our next one, we're going to work on hips, because usually hips are really stiff and sore and they really need to let go of some tension, and the only way you can do that is by holding the postures for longer, which can be quite challenging. 2.5 minutes is the recommended time. So I'm going to start with what's known as the bound angle. I've got some pillows, and since it's going to be a home class, I'm sure you have got some too. So I won't use blocks or blankets. I'll just grab just one, because the other side I can't get it into the wall. So these are going to just help. You might need 2 pillows just to support. So you need support so that you can just relax in the posture and release these tight muscles. So you might find that your knees are up here somewhere. And it might be easier even just to do one side at a time. So you can just play with it yourself. And if you do find that you're really stiff in these postures, then just practicing them for a couple of minutes every day. It's really nice, and it'll release it so much more quicker than just doing a class every week. So both feet together. I'll take that out of the way now so you can see. He's back again. And both arms by your sides, or if you want to focus on your breath, it might be nice to put one hand on your belly and one on your chest. And make sure there's no pain or tension. Close your eyes. There's nothing to do and nowhere to go now. You're trying to find stillness in this posture. One of the easiest ways to do that is to focus on your breath. So they're all a form of meditation, of letting go. So breathing into your belly, into your chest. And put my arms down, palms facing up. If your mind wanders away, just become aware of your thoughts. Don't try to struggle with them, just watch them. And when you're ready, just go back to your breathing. And when you're breathing in, you're taking in prana, energy, strength, oxygen. It's flowing into your belly and your chest. And when you're breathing out, you're releasing tension from joints and muscles. So you might be able to even feel yourself. Might not be, it took me a couple of years actually before I learned to, as I was breathing out, you can focus on a point in your body that's tight. So I can feel my hip here just a little bit. I'm going to sort of guide my breath as I'm breathing in. I'm imagining that part of my body. And breathing out, releasing it. And I can feel energy or prana flowing down into that area and relaxing it. There's some areas of my body with time that I've learned I can focus on, and there's still, I've got a big journey still of muscles and tightness. Relax your face. Make sure it's soft smile. It's a lovely way just to relax all the muscles in your face. Check your hands are soft. If there's any tension building, then just remember to move out of posture. Don't stay here. If you're practicing one side at a time, you need to swap. I've been here at least a couple of minutes. If you're doing both one side at a time, then just stay in a little longer. Otherwise, I'm just bringing my knees in, just move your cushions out the way, and just doing anything that feels nice in your body. For me, it feels nice just to bring my knees up. Just hold on to them. If you can, you might not be able to, or you might want to, do some movements. Or there's windscreen wipers. Just whichever one feels nice. And the other one for your hips. And the really important one that'll just help to loosen your spine. Or working on the muscles in around your lower back is ankle to knee posture. So I'm just bringing up my ankle and putting the bone right on the very tip of, just below the patella, the kneecap. And I'm trying to turn my knee out as much as possible. So you're probably just going to be here, maybe you're having to hold on to it. You're trying to relax your back. I don't know whether you saw me do that, just became aware of it. So just sort of allowing your back to soften. You might want a cushion as well for your head, or a blanket. You can use one, and also in the other posture as well, if you do it again. With time, you can then start to open that hip out. And maybe even start to bring your knee in. Maybe even holding on to the shin. Make sure it's a gentle stretch, nothing but a gentle stretch. I'll just come back to a more gentle position to encourage you if you need to. And I'm just resting my hands on my belly. Going to focus on the breath in my belly. And maybe slowing it down a little. So we're trying to keep the breath even. This is a nice opportunity to just focus on that for a little while. So just counting your breath. You might be counting in for 2 and out for 2. It might be 4 and 4. And see if you can lengthen it a little bit, but only if that doesn't make you feel tense. And smile as you're breathing out. See if you can feel yourself relaxing. If you need a little bit of support, if you need to move out of it, always, if anything is becoming tenser or stronger, be gentle and just move away from it. Just put your legs back. Otherwise, maybe staying just for a couple more breaths. We'll do 3 more breaths in and out through your nose. Feet's floppy as well, as I'm not working in this posture. I'm just trying to release as much as I can. Soften and relax so I can become more flexible and strong. We tend to think of strength as just, strong muscles, but flexibility in muscles is just as an important strength. So swapping sides, if you want to do a little bit more movement, just again nice and slow, whatever feels nice. And you can play with your foot a bit, maybe bring it closer or further away is more gentle. And maybe give yourself a bit of support with your hand, soften your shoulders and your face. Put a blanket under your head if you want to. And deeper is maybe just holding onto your thigh. Again, remind yourself, floppy feet, relaxation. Totally yin. Maybe you can hold onto your thigh. Bandhas are not working. Everything is relaxing. Go back down if this is too strong. Find a comfortable position. You might even be just putting your feet back on the floor. If you've got a sore back, just lying with your knees bent, feet on the floor for 5-10 minutes. So good for your back. Always moving out of anything that's causing discomfort. It's a gentle stretch. And breathe slowly. If any areas are a little tight, see if you can guide your breath to those areas. Breathing in strength into that area, prana energy, or that flow. And breathing out is releasing and letting go. Couple more breaths. slowly releasing. The whole class has done wonders for working on the strength in your spine and flexibility in your spine, strengthening your legs and your arms. Just coming out of it, moving in any which way. You might want to spend longer. Take your time. I'm just going to set up for Shavasana. So you might need a blanket over you. You tend to already know you might be feeling cooler. The standing postures are the heating, strengthening, energizing postures. And these are the cooling, flexibility and relaxing. So you might notice that your body's cooled down a lot more. These ones lower your blood pressure. They also help with slowing down your breathing, and you're also storing energy. And the most important of these postures, these yin postures, is Shavasana. So I'm just going to take my pillow. You might want that for your head. Arms down by my sides, palms facing up. Feet flopping out to the sides. If you can feel your lower back, you might want to take the pillow and put it under your knees, or have two pillows and a blanket. But take your time and make sure you get really comfortable in this posture. This is your most important posture in yoga, which is, one of these postures that when I'm not doing anything, I've had students sort of say that to me before. But you're just, all those muscles that you've been working, all the joints, they're just getting that time to settle back into place. In yoga, obviously, it's just to allow the energy to flow through your body. There's no restrictions. So your feet are soft. Your calves are relaxing. Your bottom's relaxing. Shoulders, arms. Your fingers are slightly curled. Palms facing up is open. Your forehead and your face are just softening and relaxing. Just a gentle smile on your lips, eyes closed. And focus on the breath, just flowing in and out. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. Enjoy these few moments of peace, of quiet. Notice how you're feeling now. This can be a very challenging posture. As a beginner, it's so much easier to work on strength. Trying to resist the temptation to move, even if it's to scratch your nose. But if you need to, just move. If you feel like you can't sit or lie still, for any longer. Otherwise, just keep focusing on your breath and your body softening. This is my heart chakra singing bowl. It makes a lovely sound. You can feel the vibration flowing through me. And you'll be able to hear the vibration. So just starting to think about coming out of your meditation, just moving your fingers and your toes. You might want to stretch your arms above your head. And yawn. And just moving your knees from side to side, just slowly, just waking your body up. Take your time, just listen to the sounds around you. And then turn onto your side and just curl up for a moment with your knees up. You can open your eyes if you prefer, or you can keep them closed for a little longer, just feeling your breath. And when you're ready, coming up to sit in any position that's comfortable for you. But it's really important, I'll just use a cushion, but a blanket's actually better. As a beginner, you'll probably find that your knees are up here somewhere, and it's not very good for your back. Be hunched up. And I know most people have done my classes before, so they've done this before. So it's nice to sit on a cushion, or these cushions sort of flattening down, a blanket, and that just helps to just bring your knees down a little and just allows you to sit up nice and straight with your palms together. If it feels better, take your legs out to the side, just anything. We're only going to be here for a couple of moments in the gentle class. I'm going to finish the class coming forward slightly. Namaste. Have a lovely day. You probably can't see it, but Bobby, one of the dogs, is just here. Like the peace and the quiet of when I'm practicing, rather than me dashing around.